Hello and happy Thursday. It is March 21st. I am MJ and this is a general reading for the collective. And today I'm using Unfinished Business at Ghostly Tarot, and this deck is available for the second printing. I'm taking pre-orders now. If you'd like to get in on this printing, the window to do so is closing. And you know, I don't know if there's going to be a third printing. That is still up in the air. Nothing is guaranteed. When you're an indie publisher, it's not like I have a production schedule or a publishing schedule, and I have to know that I will at least come close to hitting the minimum order requirement for my printer before I commit to offering another printing. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's get going here and see what we have going on energetically speaking today. And I have been working on the extended guidebook for this deck. Oh my gosh, it is so much. I mean, one, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of added material to this book, but it's also so much fun, and I'm having, I think, maybe a little too much fun. I need to dial it down. All right, anyway, let's dive in here and see what we have. What are the spirits going to tell us today? Who's showing up? All right, so the first card is that energy that's influencing us. That's that energy behind our mood, our decisions, how we relate with one another. Then we'll take a look at the situation. Then we'll open up the door to the uninvited house ghost. We'll see what they have to say. What do they bring to this party? And then we'll wrap it all up with some words of advice. All right. So starting us off here is this energy of... Oh, it's Manisha the Star. You know, when we are in her presence, we feel a sense of optimism. We feel hopeful. She just brightens our day, you know, and that's the energy that we should lean into today. If you're not feeling it, if you're feeling maybe a little low energy, let this star energy come in and wash over you. It will help you see the potential within a situation. It will help you recognize your skill set and your ability to overcome any challenges. It will shine a light on those. So let's see what we have here for the upcoming situation. So coming up, we have, oh, Sky. Well, so we have a situation here that could really use a boost of the star energy, because we have a situation that might draw our attention to things that aren't going well. Maybe we've hit a roadblock. Maybe we're stumbling in some way and we find ourselves, you know, at the bottom looking up. When Kai is present, when the situation is heavy in this energy, we can fall into this trap of feeling like a victim. We can feel as though we've been knocked down, we're not going to get up, it's hard to get up, right? We feel trapped by our experiences, by the stories that we tell ourselves, by our, you know, that self-talk that keeps us in a low place. So having Manisha come in, having that star energy come over and illuminate perhaps the opportunity, or show us that there is life on the other side, that there is a reason to feel hopeful. It will hopefully get us out of this funk. So you might find that you move into a situation that has you feeling in a bit of a funk, right? Your focus is not on what's going well. Instead, it's on what's going wrong, and perhaps someone had betrayed you, or maybe somebody stabbed you in the back at work. You know, that happens. You know, bullies reside outside of school. They also come into the workplace. And, you know, it can make us feel as though we've been beaten down or betrayed in some way. So if you're walking into a situation where you know this is going to stir up some feelings of past betrayal, or you know that someone is plotting behind your back, or they're, scheming to stab you in the back in some way, you have an opportunity here to look at it from a different perspective. And that's where that star energy is going to come in and illuminate the situation. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean that the star is going to wipe away all the bad feelings and the, you know, that sense of, you know, hurt that comes from knowing that someone, that realization, you know, that somebody put you in this place. It doesn't wash any of those away. But what it will do is, in that recognition of the event, in the acknowledgement of what's going on here, what it will do is it will open your eyes up, and you will see perhaps someone from a different light, in a different light. You might recognize them for who they are. You might recognize the people around you who aren't on your team. And that's where that Manisha energy, that star energy, is going to come in, and it's going to allow you to let that sort of just roll off your back, knowing that these people aren't there to support you. And when you have that understanding, you can find the people who are, you know, who are there to support you. So let's see what's coming up here. So coming into our situation, we have, hey, it's Enzo. I love Enzo. Enzo is a messenger. Enzo was literally shot. Somebody shot the messenger because of some confusion as far as what the message had to say. And so here we have this energy of the Page of Pentacles coming into your situation, and it brings you a message. It says, hey, you have an opportunity here. You have this potential to create something new. You have this promise that something is coming your way. So it might be that in this time of betrayal, you recognize, you see the person, right? I think, you know, in my Liminal Forest deck, I have a card called Sacrifice. And the message of that card is very similar to that of sometimes what we have with the Ten of Swords, in that sometimes we have to have something sacrificed. Maybe it's, you know, we lose a job, or we lose something that we value, because in that loss, we see someone for who they are. We get that knowledge, we get that wisdom that comes from that sacrifice. It's like we bartered it away. Well, it wasn't necessarily an option, but in that loss, we gain an understanding about someone in our lives that opens up our eyes, perhaps, to who they truly are. And that might be the case here with the Ten of Swords, right? You might have walked into a situation, you know, thinking that everything is all hunky-dory, but someone betrayed you, and although it may have really sucked and hurt in the moment, what it did is it allowed you a glimpse at who they truly are, their true nature. And now you have that information. And you can either wallow in it and stay in that state of victimhood, or you can use that information to move yourself forward. And I feel like that's where that star energy is coming in. It's allowing you to see things as they truly are. It's casting a light on your situation, giving you a sense of hope, you know, giving you that sense of renewal. Right? Giving you that understanding of who is there to support you and who is not there to support you. And then we have Enzo coming in. And Enzo, he has a message of promise. He has this message that if you take this opportunity, if you take, you know, this experience that you've had here and use it to your advantage, using that wisdom that you gained from this experience, you have this potential to create something new that holds the promise to grow into something that will keep you secure in, you know, whether it be in the area of finances or your job or your home. It may have been a loss that allowed you to open the door to something new and greater. All right, so let's see what the advice card here is. So coming in, oh, look at this. We have the Nine of Wands again. So you might be feeling tired, right? You might have to call upon that resilience, that inner strength that you have to push through, to persevere, because you're close to finishing something. Something is nearing its end. And although you might feel like, oh my God, I was just kicked down, right? Maybe you're taken down by somebody, who you trusted. And that, that betrayal or that hurt is hard to recover from, but you have with you that inner strength. You have within you the ability to push forward through the pain, recognizing that it's your strength, it's your optimism, it's your hope for something better in the future that will keep you moving forward. It's going to get you out of that dark place and into the light. For today's reading, this is kind of a tough reading, because it forces us to acknowledge that sometimes we go through dark times. It forces us to acknowledge that those dark times, sometimes are waiting for us to experience them. But at the end of the day, it's through that experience that we grow and we learn. And although it's tough in the moment and it sucks in the moment, we all have within us that personal inner strength to persevere, to move forward, to find our strength, and to overcome any pain or hurt or betrayal that someone might have cast upon us. We all have within us that star energy. We all have that inner guidance, that sense of hope. We just have to find it sometimes. And sometimes it's easier. Sometimes some people have that natural ability to find, the solution over the the difficulty. And so if you're not one of those people, like I'm not one of those people, sometimes I tend to dwell, let the star energy come in and infuse the situation so that you too can feel that sense of hope, so that you can find that inner courage, that inner strength that you have, that ability to recognize when you need to set up boundaries with other people as well. And that's where, that Nine of Wands too, that comes in as a call for you to protect yourself, right? You might have to protect your emotions, your spirit, your creativity. You don't have to share everything with everybody, because sometimes when you do, that sets you up for being hurt as well. And it doesn't have to be so dramatic. Poor Kai here. Kai is kind of a dramatic fellow, I'm just going to say. But betrayal doesn't always have to look like you've been beaten down, but it can make you feel that way for sure. Again, the Page of Pentacles, Enzo, oh my God, he's such a bright, charming, just ready to take the world on kind of energy. And he sees the potential. He sees that potential that might be overlooked in this experience. And he's bringing that message that, hey, there is a reason to feel hopeful. There is an opportunity here. And that opportunity is going to set you up for future success. So lean into that perseverance. Tune into that inner star energy that you have. If you don't have it easily accessible, maybe you need to meditate or find something that you can do around you that brings that star energy to you, right? That collects it and draws it near. And know that without the dark times, right? Without having these moments, you might not have an opportunity to see someone for who they really are. And this might end up, it might end up being useful, not just now, but in the future, if you have to encounter that person again. So I hope this makes sense. Again, focusing on where we have our strengths, we have this internal optimism, and it's not blind optimism. It's not that rah-rah, shishkumba, everything will be fine. If I just tell myself everything is great, it will be. No, it comes from you knowing that you have that strength, that you have creativity, you have the perseverance and the ability to create boundaries so that you're not falling into that trap of staying in a place where people can betray you. You also have opportunities coming your way that need your attention, and they want you to nurture them so that they can grow. Again, I hope this makes sense. Much love.